Hey, Victor, something to know as well. Assets have a growth rate. You've seen me talk about it in my videos as well. I'll just show it to you right now. So assets have a growth rate. So S&P 500 gives you 10% per year. Gold gives you 10% per year. Okay, but 20 years. Okay, so gold you got to hold for 20 years, but it'll give you 10% per year. Now, gold is unique. Why? Because you can own gold from anywhere in the world. With the S&P 500, you know, you got to have a passport and an ID, and even a third world or second world country, you can't get access to it, okay? Property, so I'll show you right now. Property, your growth rate will give you 5% to 10% per year. Depends, okay? So property depends on the country you're in. It's localized. Now, property, though, it's interesting because you can leverage on it. All right. Now, I'm just scared and everyone's scared because, like, if there's a recession, bro, everyone's wrecked. You have to do 10x leverage property. You put 10% deposit and they give you the rest of the money. So you have to do 10x leverage. You have to for most property around the rest of the world, you see. But property gives you advantages. You can depreciate the building of your home. You know, it helps with your tax advantages there. You can do some tax offsetting and stuff as well. So that helps out as well. It's also nice because you're like, oh yeah, people are definitely always going to need somewhere to live. But you get to see how these numbers are around the same, yeah? That's how they're same. Now, on top of all these, they print 7% per year, okay? So as you can see, stocks, gold, houses, you're gaining but barely, bro. Like, you need 10 to 20 years of these in each one. All right. Now, obviously, this is where do you think crypto is? Crypto, okay, so far, Bitcoin in the past 4 years, BTC was doing like 60%. Okay, altcoins were doing like 72%. All right, that's the past 4 years. Now, remember, altcoins, we're still down this year. So if we do like a 7 or 8x in the next year, that's what it ends up doing. Even though it's 3 years down and then 8x in 1 year, that's the compounding rate. Right? Do you see the difference here? So Bitcoin was doing 60%. Now, Bitcoin, it's going to lower over time. Maybe the next 4 year growth rate for Bitcoin, maybe it's not 60, bro. Maybe it's only 40. And maybe altcoins are only like 55. But you can still see these numbers are way bigger than 10%. Way, way, way bigger. And I'm just going to show you, okay, what I'm going to do is, let's assume you invest any amount of money for the next 10 years, okay? And let's say crypto and Bitcoin or whatever. What I'm going to do is let's say you put in like $10,000, okay, $10,000, and then let's say your growth rate for the next 4 years is 40%. 1, 2, 3, 4, and then let's say the next 4 years after that is 30%. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then let's say the next 2 years after that is 20%. Bro, you've got $158,000. You started with 10 grand. Think about that. In 10 years, you've turned 10 grand into 160K pretty much. You did a 16x. Do you want to know what 10 years of these get you? It's about 2x. Stocks, gold, property, you get about a 2x. About. So crypto gives you 16 over the next 10 years. 16. And then everything else gives you 2. You see how important it is just to be long crypto? So you smash everyone. That's why there are people right now, like your age 20, yeah, you can be retired by 30. You've got 2 to 3 cycles. But like easier said than done, right? You can't end up on CoinFessions wrecked. You got to also remember, what if I'm not here in the next cycle? What if I just can't be bothered doing it? What if I just want to play PlayStation, play Resident Evil all day or something? You know, so you can rely on Bitcoin for the savings rate. You can rely on that, and that's why this opportunity is still big. But I'm just giving you an idea of these growth rates. This is extremely important to understand. So everyone else out here, how do you actually get ahead? Well, now you know how you get ahead. Now you're looking at these growth rates. So what I'm going to do now, I'm actually going to show you my 4-year growth rate chart, and I'll play some nice gentle angel music. This is pretty much Bitcoin, right? This is the 4-year growth rate. I mean, this was free money, my gosh. But yeah, no one knew, bro. There's no industry here. And here, see how the numbers going lower and lower and lower? So 67% was from 2020 to 2024. Maybe this one's only going to be 40%, but then the numbers are still astronomical. Huge, man. 16x, man. It's just like, I got to write this down just for you to understand. 16x versus 2x. That's all the traditional finance stuff, okay? But obviously higher risk, crypto can go to zero, maybe long bear market, maybe you buy the wrong stuff, okay? So that's important to understand as well. And also now you get to see why you and I, we deserve these growth rates, right? Because everybody says crypto is a scam, okay? Because the world doesn't understand it yet, which means the prices aren't high enough. Everyone understands gold, they understand property, they understand stocks. That's why you get whatever they print in the money base, 7%, and then you get like 2 or 3% on top of that. So you can actually write that down. So the growth rate of stocks, I'll show you now. The growth rate of stocks over here, yeah. You can write these things out like, you can write stocks equals money printed plus 3%. That's being conservative, you know what I mean? So if they're printing 7% per year, that's what you get. Okay, but your real gain is only the 3. You see, because they're making the cost of bananas and lollipops go up 7% every year. Okay, so if you're only getting 3 on top of that, yeah, it's like that's why to retire in the stock market and all these, you need like a full 30 years because you're DCAing in the whole time and everything's compounding and you're beating that inflation rate by like 3% every year. It's shocking, isn't it? It makes you wonder how people actually get ahead. But then you know how they get ahead. They save a lot and they try to front load it. So they try to save heaps in the first 10 years because if you're going to retire over 30 years, what people try to do is the first 10 years, they go super, super, super hard because that's doing all the compounding in year 15, year 20, year 25, year 30. That's what they try to do. But you don't need that now. You got crypto. We all have crypto here. But yeah, like I said, remember, it's difficult. You can't just go like, oh, I'm just going to play alts and make 10x's forever. No, not going to happen. The growth rates are getting lower over time. Luckily, we do have, say, Bitcoin and Ethereum, and these growth rates are fantastic. They are. But you get to put it all into perspective. That's why anyone who's doing this, they can win over everybody else. But like it's easier said than done, right? Like it's the growth rate. It'd be nice if you just made that money every year, isn't it? You don't get that money every year, as you get to see. We get like, one big pump up year and then you're just bleeding forever. And then Bitcoin does a recovery and a Bitcoin halving year and so on and so forth. So it's amazing. And we don't also know how long the cycles will even let us be predicting this stuff over time. You just don't know. But if you want to work out where does our 40% growth rate take us for Bitcoin, it gives us $260,000 in 2028. So somehow we get up here. Here's the thing though. We don't know. So I'm just going to remove this squiggly line arrow. Okay. We don't know if it's going to like go halfway next year, bear market, and then 220K like that. We don't know if it's going to do that. Or we don't know if it goes up here and then it does that. You see? So we don't know. Is this going to stop and then go up? Is it going to go high and then go up? Or is it, you never know, man. Is it going to hit like 400K and then in the Bitcoin halving year, it's still doing that? Because this chart, that's traditional Bitcoin. But look what actually happened in this recent cycle. We were truncated in 2021. So then this Bitcoin halving year run looks big. That's why like if you have time on your side, you win. You win because you're like, hey, I'll get the next 4 years. I don't need to sell. Okay, that's why you eventually just make it to each halving point. So there you go, the way to make it. Those are the growth rates of everything in this world. And by the way, you can get a bit better than the stock market if you buy emerging markets. You can buy like, Brazil's index and these. They won't give you like, say, 10% per year like the US stock market. Maybe they'll give you like 13 or maybe 15 for a while if you get it right. But it still doesn't even compare. They're all garbage. All of them are absolutely trash. Nothing compares to crypto, not even close. And eventually the world's going to wake up to it though. And then this is just the unfortunate part of markets, right? When they wake up to it, they FOMO in. So if you're not paying attention, you will be paying attention. But if you hold too long, you could bleed out for a long time. That's why, man, markets are tough. That's why we're here 18 hours a day trying to win. Don't forget, who loves you? Catch you soon.